Hi Instagram, welcome to the Chase Perfection Instagram channel. You can hear little Jaspy tottering around wanting to play ball. So I wanted to do a live today. We get so many questions, Tim and I do, from clients, from non-clients, on his Instagram, his Facebook, my own Facebook, my own Instagram, about what to eat, what's a good food, what's healthy, where should we start, what should I buy from the supermarket. And so I just thought that I've been to the shops today. I thought, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you our food shop. So that's what I've done. So today I've been to Tesco. And any reputable supermarket is obviously fine, but I've been to Tesco today and I've done our weekly food shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you everything that we buy on a weekly basis, what we do with it, what we eat, what kind of meals we eat. I've literally not even unpacked it, so it's going to be like pure, like authentic. I'm going to share with you just the kind of things that we have in our house on a weekly basis and why. So I'm just going to literally go through the shopping bags. I've got no rhyme or reason to this. So first up, porridge oats. Now I actually have gluten-free porridge oats, which is going to be somewhere when I pull them out this bag because I'm actually a celiac and quite severely so. Tim is obsessed with oats. In fact, on that subject, he's posted a blog today, so you can check out chaseperfection.com/blog and you can pick up his blog today on white oats are amazing. So nice 2 kilos of oats. That'll probably last him about a day. Chase loves his oats. So went to Tesco in a Sainsbury's bag. This is kind of the non-cold stuff. So dark chocolate. So we actually normally have Lindt 90%. They didn't have any today. Tesco was a bit out this morning. But the reason why we like dark chocolate is multiple reasons really. We both love chocolate, but we're not going to put that amount of sugar in our bodies because neither of us, once we have a bit of sugar, can stop. So, and maybe it's from competing, maybe it's just because sugar tastes nice. That's probably why. So we stick to dark chocolate just because it's not quite as palatable, but equally as well, there's, it's a really, really good form of saturated fat, and saturated fat is an important part of our diets, and it goes really well like on oats, on pancakes, like melted, chopped up. So we love a bit of dark chocolate in this house. So, right, Tim loves jelly. So if you've ever watched any of Tim's like dieting posts or his like what to eat when he's going low cal or anything, and he's done a jelly challenge on YouTube as well, Tim loves low cal jelly. Now I fucking hate jelly. The reason I hate it is because of the fact that, well, you're gonna laugh at me, because it wobbles in your mouth. Like it just shouldn't do that. So I don't actually like jelly. In addition, I try to avoid artificial sweeteners because they just don't like me. They make my blood sugar fluctuate and they give me a bad stomach because they're basically a lot of sweeteners. So an example of the sweeteners used in this one. So this is aspartame and Sultamate K, so not the same, but a lot of like sparkling waters, and we do have like, Tim has these. So low cal sparkling waters. What tends to happen is they tend to use sucralose, and sucralose is actually a high FODMAP or a high oligosaccharide food, and anyone that's got any kind of gut issues of any kind, it can really, really trigger that. So that's kind of some low cal snacks for Tim because he's in a dieting phase at the moment. So yeah, my gluten-free oats, as I touched on, I had them in sachet form because it's just easier and I'm lazy / busy. These are snacks for Jasper, so if you have a dog, highly recommend. Keeps him entertained. Oh look, and a teddy for Jasper as well. See, this is what I mean about it being a true shop. Authentic. Right, so what's next? Right, so let's go into this bag. So we're going for a bit of a salad stage. It's a barbecue every day in our house. So we've got loads of lettuce, loads of cucumbers, loads of spinach. Like Tim loves spinach in his omelettes. Shitloads of chicken, like literally packs and packs and packs of chicken. So there are lots of ways to, get hold of meat in your diet. I really only eat chicken or turkey. I will occasionally have beef. If it's of a really high quality or I just really craving it, whether it's time of the month, something like that. So other than that, I don't really eat anything else meat wise. I have quite a lot of like vegan protein sources, and it's not because I am a vegan, it's just because I physically don't like it. I do have concerns around the way that some of our food is processed and the way that it's farmed. Now, what's key about chicken is I know I could go to a butcher and I could buy a big case of chicken, free range chicken breast, probably 30 quid for 5 kilos. Now, for me, it's more about convenience than it is about like cost effectiveness. So yes, buying a British chicken mini fillets in single size poppable packs with a lesser sell by date, like, I've got 5 days to use this one, is probably not the most financially like realistic. But for me, it's got to be practical. And I'm a busy person. Like, I still like to prep our food. I'm not prepared to invest in anyone else prepping our food because I like the way I cook. Tim likes the way I cook. And more than anything, being a celiac and having the allergies that I do, I want to be in control of my food. So this just makes my life easy because all I do is go snip, snip, tip it onto a grill tray or tip it onto a barbecue. So we buy shed loads of chicken. Now, we literally go through 5 kilos of chicken a week, or turkey, depending on which week we're on. We sometimes alternate. So, and then we probably go for about a kilo of red meat and a whole side of salmon, because Tim has red meat or salmon every single day. Red meat and salmon are super important because, again, they contain saturates. So red meat contains those saturated fats that are really important for hormonal health and great for digestive health. But equally, salmon is amazing in omega-3. So that's one food, you know, from a meats and a fish's point of view, that if you can make sure that it's sustainably sourced. I mean, you should be trying to be anyway. That salmon's really important because the way that salmon can be processed and farmed can affect the quality of the nutrients. But for us right now, getting nutrients into Tim in this kind of post-comp recovery phase is massively important. So we have a whole side of salmon. So that's somewhere in here. Yeah, so there's one of the halves, another half somewhere else. I didn't have any whole sides this morning. So next up is the dairy-free milk. So neither of us have dairy. Tim will occasionally have whey, but we try to avoid dairy. It really upsets my stomach. Again, lactose is a high FODMAP, gives me spots as well. I don't want spots. So these are our two favourites. So I actually really like Pip and Nuts almond milk. They don't sell it in Tesco, they only stock it in Sainsbury's. Because it doesn't have any fillers at all. So although Alpro is amazing, it does contain locust bean gum and gellan gum. And if you do have a super sensitive stomach, those gums can actually, even though they're in small quantities, can really affect you. But we really love these two. We like to. We're working for a hazelnut phase at the moment, but you can't beat an almond milk cappuccino. We have an espresso. Right, what else have we got in here? Celery, more chicken. Celery. Tim loves celery. I fucking hate it. Right, these. So I tend to buy myself something different from the dairy-free collection every week. I am in I wouldn't call it a cutting phase, but I'm in a like slimming down, trimming up phase with the wedding coming up. But I'm not somebody that needs to be really anal about my food sources all the time. So I'm just really like enjoying my food because, and I'm going to talk about this in a live probably in the next week, but the more I restrict myself after such extensive periods of dieting, the harder I find it to be compliant. So I kind of give myself free reign. Like, you know, I've been doing this I'm 30 now, since I was 18. So for me, like after 12 years, I know what to eat. I know how to eat it. I know every single calorie in every single food. I can look at food and tell you how many macros are in it. Or even if it's not accurate, I can still do it, and my brain still does that. So for me, I tried to kind of try and let go of all of that by just enjoying something. So at the Coconut Collaborative, I've launched some salted caramel pots. So they've had chocolate pots for a while, which are really nice, but these are salted caramel pots, and they're dairy-free, gluten-free, and they are 130 calories per pot. So, you know, when you're getting that sweet craving, and I'm ovulating at the moment, so my blood sugars are a bit all over the shop. So that's a great win for me. So moving on to a fresh and frozen bag. Big tray of strawberries. We actually have, and this is one thing I really love about Tesco, they have an incredible frozen section, like frozen berries, frozen veg. I'm going to go through some of the veg that they have that's really different. But strawberries are actually tasting really good at the moment. They are seasonal, which means that they're going to taste better because they're physically not being shipped as far. So British strawberries, a massive tray for us to both have in our porridge oats. I tend to backload a lot of my carbs, so I tend to have my oats more in the evening time, whereas Tim tends to have his in the morning, so I put berries into that in the morning. So, onto the frozen stuff, because I absolutely love Tesco's frozen section. So, shitloads of broccoli. I have never gone off broccoli. In all the years of prep, I can't eat fresh broccoli, sounds weird, but I can eat cooked frozen broccoli. I could eat it all day, every day. I still love it. Green beans. Tim's not a fan of green beans, but I love them. What else is in here? Right, so this is one reason I love Tesco. They have sweet potato wedges, cooked, seasoned, without much added extra like spices, so I can't do spices or fats. So these are cost effective. I think they're on like £2 for £3 at the moment as well. And these are amazing. So not only have you not got to fanny around cooking fucking sweet potatoes up and cutting them all up and doing all that jazz, like these are easy. You bang them in the oven and they're cooked in 30 minutes. And they also, because they've got like a really nice, like, they use rice flour as like the coating on them. What's good about that is they're gluten free. So for me, that's absolutely brilliant, because most of the big brands like McCain's and all that sort of stuff, they use wheat because obviously it's cheaper for them and they're more interested in making a profit margin, whereas Tesco just want to have a compatible product. So rice flour is becoming a bigger thing. You're going to see a lot more rice flour on things, which is great for everyone except you're allergic to rice, like I know somebody who is. But rice flour is going to become more accessible, which is a good thing. It means everything's going to be gluten-free. But these are amazing sweet potato wedges. Yes, they cost a bit more than buying sweet potatoes and cutting them up. But as I touched on with the chicken, it's about speed for me. It's about the convenience and being able to bang loads of food in and on at the same time and go back to my emails or get back on the phone. So that's one reason I love Tesco, is their incredible frozen section. Within that frozen section as well is they do like Mediterranean char-grilled vegetables. Now if you buy these in a fresh like silver tray, like a foil tray that you can get them in, it'll cost you £2, and when you've cooked it you'll end up with about 200 grams worth of vegetables. Now this is like, I think this is 180 or like £2 on the dot, and I buy a couple of these, and yes, it's a bit more chopped up rather than whole veggies, but there's 700 grams here, and when it's cooked it ends up as 500 grams. So from a cost-effective point of view and variety, like Tim absolutely loves Mediterranean vegetables. This is so easy for me. I literally just do this into a tray and put it in the oven. I don't even think about it, set a timer and it's done. So this is why I'm much more that person. I love the frozen section because it's getting so much more exciting, but equally a lot easier for me to manage. Now I discovered these the other day. Rosemary and sea salt Swede chips. Now, they have got a little bit of fat in, so per 100 grams cooked, 3 grams of fat, but that is actually, what I like about that is that sunflower oil. Again, using rice flour as a coating, and 11 grams of carbs, and only 5 of that's sugar, but some of that's natural sugars, because Swede's actually quite a low-cal veg, so this hasn't got added sugar in it, it's just that that's the way the veg is, because it's a, how do I describe it? It's relatively low-cal, but it's higher in glycemic index. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But these are amazing. So if somebody who really likes chips, or you really like that kind of like rosemary taste, but you don't want the high quantity of carbs, then these are amazing, and they're about the same price, £1 to £2. Just variety. Variety is the spice of life. More broccoli, sliced aubergines. Tim is obsessed with aubergines. When you cook and when you cut fresh aubergines, for you to be able to get them to actually retain their shape and retain any kind of moisture or texture, you have to coat them in a lot of oil. Whereas because these, I mean, these are literally, if I just give you the ingredients, there are no ingredients, it's just these. But because they've been flash frozen after cutting, they retain their moisture. So when they're cooked, they're still wet. Whereas when you cut a fresh aubergine, you have to almost get it to keep its moisture, and that can be really difficult, and then you're adding loads of calories. So love a bit of frozen aubergine. Now the other things in my frozen bag is a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. So I buy myself a bottle of wine probably once a week, and that's all I drink. If we go out, I don't buy a bottle of wine, but we don't have plans to go out this weekend. Now the reason I bought this one, I had a flurry last weekend. The reason I bought this one is this is Graham Norton. And who doesn't love Graham Norton? He's hilarious. So I saw this at Tesco, and it's a Marlborough New Zealand Sauvignon. Like, hello. So yeah, I bought myself a bottle of wine. You know, said this video was going to be authentic and honest, didn't I? Right, so what else have we got? We've got loads of courgettes. So frozen courgettes, not like frozen aubergines. Frozen courgettes are disgusting when you cook them. They go like wet and soggy and just like mush. So fresh courgettes, make sure you wash them. Give them a good slice and chop. They're lush on the barbecue. Got literally a whole bag of those. More spinach and more peppers, and then stuff for Jasper. So yeah, and we also buy bottled water, Highland Spring to be precise. Now the reason that we do that is twofold. One, the fact that we both are out a lot, we're very busy, and us drinking from a Brita filtered jug was ridiculous. We were literally refilling it every 3 seconds. And the fact that it just tastes like shit, even when you have filtered it. Also the thing with that is once you filter water, it's actually got no minerals in it. So, and those minerals are really important for hydration and retaining like water balance and electrolytes in your body. And if you're somebody that exercises or trains, having those electrolytes is absolutely key. So if you're going to filter your water, you need to add like pink Himalayan salt. That's a great source of like the minerals that you need. That can help your body regulate its electrolytes. However, like I said, we're out a lot of the time, and when we're out, we can't necessarily carry in pink Himalayan salt around with us. Also, the water where we go out isn't filtered. So if you're going out and we're in the gym, that water that comes out of that, you know, water fountain isn't filtered, and then you're basically just drinking the chemicals from the processing. So I know there's a plastic, I know there's a plastic consideration. We do recycle. We're like one of the most recycly people on our street. But for me as well, I have massive issues with my kidneys. And from when I had toxic shock, and I actually can't regulate my electrolyte balance. So the only way I can do that is if I drink bottled water. I have trialed it 100 times. I have bought myself glass bottles of water. I've tried it all. But for us, having like bottled water is just the only way that we can actually, we both feel good, but equally in addition to that, it's convenient and easy. So lots of meat, lots of veggies, not loads of fruit, because I touched on we have frozen fruit. So again, Tesco, amazing blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. They got wonky fruit at the moment. Oats for our whole grains, low-cal jellies and low-cal waters for Tim. Dairy-free milks, dairy-free alternatives, and then lots of stuff for the dog. So we have we don't really buy stuff out of packets. We don't really buy snacks. The couple of things I didn't buy this week, so we didn't need rice cakes. And hummus, because I actually have rice cakes and hummus for breakfast. People think I'm weird, but it's my thing. I didn't buy any eggs this week because we've already got some, because we don't have whole eggs that often. And we get egg whites from Dr. Zach's. Tim is a sponsored athlete from Dr. Zach's, so you can check them out via the link in his profile or at Muscle Food. So we get egg whites from them. Nut butter, again, love almond butter. We tend to stick to almond butter over peanut butter. The main reason is that I'm actually intolerant to peanut butter. So as much as I love a good peanut butter cup, I'm actually intolerant. So we tend to just stick with almond butter, and Tim doesn't really mind. And he's also busy using the Dr. Zach's whey peanut butters. So Jasper says he'd like a biscuit now. He's currently in his bag of treats. But yeah, so that's kind of what we have on a daily basis. So what I'd say to you is, if you really don't know what to buy, you don't know where to start. I mean, this is a pretty plain shop for us. Sometimes we get some barbecue food in there, some burgers, some other meats. Is check out our website and check out the food guide. So we have a food guide on our website, and that's basically a massive shopping list. And within that shopping list, you've got all the macros you could possibly dream of. You've got all the calories for each food. And that's free to all of our clients. So any of our clients get that free when they start their plans. But otherwise, that's it from me. If anyone does have any questions about what to eat, when to eat it, anything that would help like that, just drop us a DM. But otherwise, have a absolutely fantastic week, and we will speak to you all soon.